He comes from a lineage of great sages, yogis, and saints from India. He began his spiritual journey at the age of 7 and was fully realized by the age of 14. During this time, he delved into different practices and acquired mastery over Tantra, Mantra, Yantra, Aghori practices, and Yaksha sadhana. He was a siddha, and many masters, saints, and sages used to visit him in solitude to gain wisdom and guidance from him since that tender age. Although he has been helping humanity since childhood, he never disclosed this part of him to the world, and only the advanced yogis and masters were aware of his divine presence. Only in the last 2 years he chose few people from the world and started guiding them in their spiritual paths, and those who have been closely associated with him have witnessed many miracles in his presence. Despite being a family person, he is a yogi and intends to help people entangled in this world achieve Jivan Mukti, liberation while being alive. He is truly in the world but not of the world, and if you really want to understand him, look him beyond his physical appearance and just sit with him, and you will never be the same again. In his presence you will transcend your body and mind and experience the state of Sat, absolute truth, Chit, pure consciousness, Ananda, eternal bliss. Let us fold our hands in front of his divinity and with a heart filled with gratitude and love welcome our spiritual guru, the realized soul, and our enlightened master, Guru Minash Mishra.
Purnamada Purnamidam Purnavapurnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschid Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Aham Brahmasmi. So good morning everyone, and good evening to the people. Another part. So here we are, the early winter mornings, especially in India, and starting back the same journey that was on a halt for some time right now, and we are back again. So do you still remember like which Matrika we have actually completed? Up until which Matrika, if you can remember that. And if you have not remembered, I not blame you there, but I would rather say, okay, so you were busy with some other practices that has taken up the things. Okay, the curve vargas. Okay. So Vaniji says the curve vargas were completed, but I think we completed beyond that also. The cha varga also. Yes. So just to keep a bring a reminder to everyone, like I have learnt it so many ways in while growing up, seeing some people watching the soap operas, they call it as a recap. So I'll just run through the recap so that we all just go back into that space. So what are we going to do is today is we will start with the recap first, and then we will go up until the ta vargas, and of course there would be understanding of the ta vargas, as well as I'll try to get a meditation that can help you the chakra of the ta varga chakra meditation we can do towards the end of it. So are we all set to start? Okay, good. So let me recap the things first very easily. So starting with uh, the a vargas, uh, which were the swaras. Okay, the swaras are swara matrika जिसे कहते हैं, the breath, which is actually considered as the breath of Shiva and Shakti. So a was the one before whom there was nothing, the pure being before anything has begun. Both a. Then came ad. This was the existence that started expanding out of stillness and wanted to be something else. The want has not come here, but the want came up till as e. E जो इच्छा शक्ति बने. This is the first will, the desire to know. Then came the E, the focused intention, that this is what I should be focusing on. The desire to know first था, उसके बाद आ गया एक focused intention, which was absolutely unwavering and sharp. That was the E. Then comes the U, the movement. That is, this was the movement where the will was turning into action. And then U, this is the sustained action flow of life. जीवन में उतरने लगा. Ru was the cosmic rhythm, the order behind the motion, that there should be a law that should govern it. And then came the Ru. This was the mastery of rhythm beyond effort. Without any effort, how effortlessly things can happen. Then come Lu, the grounding of the awareness to our awareness becoming a form, it taking a form. Then comes A. This is the perception of the inner eye, which is something cannot be seen with just the physical eyes that we see today. And then it was I. This was the intuition. And then where the knowing arises without even a thought. E-I-O. So O, this is the completeness, nothing missing, nothing extra. Au is the dissolution again, everything returning back home. This was the union, sound folding into the silence. Then this is the release, the final exhale into the infinite. Then came the ka vargas. Ka, this is where the infinite accepted a boundary for itself. Kha, this is the space where in which all the experiences started unfolding. Then came the Ga. This was the mother shaping the form with lot of care. Then comes Gha. This is the force that actually shattered the stagnation that was happening. Then comes Gagharna. Gagharna. This is the ancient, it's kind of a memory that is coiled within us and beneath even time. Then comes the Cha Varga. This was all related to the world, mind, and emotions. So if you look at this, like how these things have been informed, this means the Avargas were the source before the creation. Then came the Ka Varga, this was the birth of existence. And then came the Cha Varga, the inner world, mind, and emotions. So this was the awareness seeing itself. Then came the Cha, this is the emotion awakening into emotion awakening into motion. And then comes Ja, this is like the feeling of ripening of the understanding. Then came Jha, this was the truth striking like a lightning. Jha. And then Na, this was the inner union where the conflict completely dissolves So this is up until when we have already covered from A to the Ch vargas. So हमने क्या क्या देख लिया इसमें? When there was nothing, then how creation came into existence. Now creation, once it was created, it is to the level of the emotions, thoughts and mind. Then what is the next requirement in creation? Now when we are talking about the next phase of the matrikas, the ta varga, now you will see like how it has taken the form of the body. So from nothingness, slowly creation becoming more conscious, and then starting. Now when we look at people, like when they, why we want to be, always want to look towards the sky, explore the skies, dive into the ocean and explore the oceans, why we always are seeking something beyond, why we always look up, why we always feel like no, there is bigger than something, much more than what is there in life. Have you ever thought of? The reason is very simple. Because these matrikas that are actually आपके अंदर स्पंदन कर रहे हैं, they are vibrating within you, you will come to realize that this is why it always pushes you towards your home. So this is where we begin the ta vargas, which is like the architecture of destiny that is sitting within you. So when we start exploring all these things, you will realize like how in every part of your body, how in every speck of the creation, it is all that divine being. Today, while I woke up with a contemplation, I was thinking like, okay, so when I say that I am the one who is experiencing the pain in this body, okay, so all of us, why are we experiencing the pain and the thoughts and the emotions within ourselves? Because we are connected to the body, right? Yes. So if somebody pinches you, you will feel the pain. You say this is not me, but you still feel the pain, isn't it? So that means you are here and you are experiencing that. But at the same time, did you notice that you are also the seer of it? The one who is seeing that, who is watching it, and the one who is experiencing it. Are these two beings? Or it is just that one who is also experiencing and seeing? Yes or no? That means when I say that this is the one who is experiencing and also the one who is seeing, and if you say God is seeing, then is he also experiencing? यही कहते हो ना आपकी, he is always watching over us. So is it just really watching over you, or it is also experiencing the things? Just as I said, you are also the experiencer and also the one who is actually seeing this happening. Who are you then? So with this thought starting, if that needs some fuel, we know like रॉकेट ऊपर जितना ऊपर जाना है उतनी आग की जरूरत होती है. सो लेट्स pull in some fuel into that and push that thought, because I believe like if you keep this one thing in your mind, you will never be away from God. कि जो देखता है और जो भोग भी करता है वो दोनों एक ही है. So that is where, and if you take a step ahead, what is it seeing? वो क्या देख रहा है ना? So if this is the one who is seeing and experiencing, it is also seeing something, and that being is also seeing and experiencing. Then what is that? So that means who is who watching whom, who is experiencing what. If you always just have this simple thought in your mind, you will always find God all around you, within you, without you. So with this, let's take the step where I'll try to bring in all these things to a close loop. So I can just, that's why on this concept that I just woke up today with this thought, like, okay, so tell this, are they really different from me? And then in that moment, I came to realize that this cosmos was not only built by bricks, it was built by vibrations. And these vibrations that we look at as are those vibrations that we are continuously learning now as the matrikas. And today we are going to talk about those five vibrations. Those are the ta, tha, da, dha, na. And these are like, whether you know it or not, but these are like the secretly writing the script of your entire life. आपको पता भी नहीं चला कि ये कैसे हो गया. But this is what we are going to unfold today. And that's why I say, like, you do not chant the matrikas, they chant you. हम मातृकाओं को चैंट नहीं करते, मातृकास हमें चैंट करते, बिकॉज ऑफ दैट वाइब्रेशन यू आर इन दिस स्पेस. ओके, सो द ट वर्ग रहस्य के बारे में बात करते हैं थोड़ा, विच वुड actually show you how these are the five pillars that hold your world. आपका जो अस्तित्व है उसे कैसे संभाले रखा है. So in order to get back to that space where it all started, you can close your eyes and just uh, again, just to connect back from where we started, just close your eyes and just experience what I am going to say. Now just imagine there is absolute darkness. When I say darkness, it is not black, it's not white, it's just space. And in this silence before creation started, when neither the earth nor the sky had yet chosen their names, there arose a subtle trembling consciousness. The Agamas call it that this trembling was not chaos, it was like a order preparing to appear. And here, Shiva, in his utter stillness, opened his awareness and perceived that creation which has been made till now could not stand unless it had bones, it had courage, it had law, it had endurance and memory. And therefore, from his unmoving silence emerged the five vibrations, the ta, tha, da, dha, na, not as letters, but as the living principles that run the entire cosmos. Here, that's why if you go to the Puranic era, the Puranic sages describe a time when the universe itself was began to collapse under its own freedom. Rivers forgot their paths, fire forgot to rise, human beings forgot restraint. Seeing this, Shiva did not raise a weapon. He again struck his damru once more, and that strike was Ta. From Ta came structure. The mountains learnt how to stand. Time learnt how to move forward. Dharma found a strong base, and therefore Ta became the unseen rhythm in every breath, the discipline that allows freedom to exist without destroying itself. And that's why the sages say Takara sthirata bija dharmamula pratisthita, means Ta is the seed of stability, the foundation upon which dharma stands. Yet when the structures alone became very rigid, in order to, and that order that was created, that started turning into fear. Creation stood, but it did not dare to move. And in that moment arose the next Matrika, the Tha, which was the next vibration, not from calm but from the tension. Tha was born when Shiva saw courage missing from the world. And that's why Tha is described in the Nigamas as the sound of expansion against the resistance. It is like the breath taken leaping into the unknown. With Tha, the warriors, when they remember their bravery, the seekers, when they remember their tapas, and the soul, when it remembered that how things have been moving, that the growth and the demands and the efforts that we put, all that things when we remember, this is because of the Tha. And therefore, it is said, Thakara Shakti Sambhuta Bhaya Bhedana Karaka. This is the born of power that actually shatters the fear. But again, if you look at it, courage without consequences, it became reckless. The strength began to create wounds rather than protect. And in order to control that, there emerged the most misunderstood vibration yet. Da is not punishment, it is precision. Just like when you call as when you think of the word da, आपने सुना होगा जिसे कहते हैं कि यमदंड. The da word comes as the danda means it's not like to punish. Danda means something that controls all those things. It's not to terrify anyone, but to teach them that every action leaves a footprint in existence. And when you might have heard the people is that when they say like मुझे अपने कर्म का दंड मिल रहा है. So here in Sanskrit, the word danda has a very different meaning rather than somebody pushing something on you, or what do you call it as taking punishing you. It's not punishment. It's like realizing, making you realize that. Okay. So it it actually helps us to learn that what we have forgotten. And with the karma became visible. The fire burnt only what it must burn, not everything. Truth now carried weight. Lies learnt to collapse under their own burden. And that's why it says the dakara karma samyoga phala nishchaya karaka. This is the one who makes sure like the karmic rule goes on. And then comes the da, then comes dha. So if you remember, the da unites action with consequence and determines its fruit. But if only karma was to be seen, it requires time. And many truths do not appear or mature quickly. So many paths test your patience more than courage. And while Shiva saw that people didn't have that kind of courage, that kind of patience, and while he saw that countless beings abandon the journey in midway, Shiva came up with the fourth vibration, the dha. Dha is endurance without bitterness, patience without passivity. It is actually the strength of mountains the quiet resolve of a mother who denies to give up, the long tapas of the sages who sit unmoving while worlds change around them. And in order to understand this, dha, the agamic ways of looking at it is like dhakara dhriti rupa syat kala jaya pradayaka. Dha is the form of steadfastness that conquers time. Still, while all these things was happening, something was still missing. The structure, the courage, the law, and perseverance, all of this created survival. But there was no meaning to any of these. The universe functioned, yet it did not remember why it existed. Then arose the final vibration from this as the Na. Na is the memory beyond time. It is like the echo of the ancient knowing, the whisper of countless lives, the intuition that guides without logic. Na actually flows through lineage, traditions, and the unspoken wisdom that has been carried in the breath of every teacher and the silence of every forest and mountains. And that is why it is called as the final one in which that Na came into existence. And that's why it is said the Nakara Smriti Rupahi Jnana Purva Prakashaka. Na is remembrance itself, illuminating knowledge from within. And this is why these five stood together. The Ta as the structure, the Tha as the courage, the Da as the law, the Da as endurance, and Na as wisdom. The Puranas, if you look at them, they all hint that these five are not outside us, they are the very forces by which actually life unfolds within every human being. Now, up until now, what I was speaking would have gone above the head. The reason is very simple. I was creating the background in somewhere. So, when you have this background, understanding at an inner level would be much easier. And that's why I keep on saying, Yatha Pinde Tatha Brahmande. So, what you heard was something that was happening outside. But how can I relate to that? And that's where we will bring the true idea now that would sum up all that I was speaking. So even though you did not understood anything when I was speaking, it's absolutely fine. Is it okay? Shall I continue? Okay. So did you saw what I was speaking was exactly what I was doing? सारी चीजें बोल दिया. But the last one was the meaning. You can keep on speaking and speaking and speaking and speaking and speaking and speaking, but if there is no meaning to that, and that's why God created something called as your mind also, which is nothing else but a meaning making machine. It sees something, creates a meaning, sees something else, makes another meaning, listens to something, makes a meaning. Yes or no? So now, when we have rushed through, now let's get the idea what I was speaking all about. So, Na Akshara is like in the discourses of the Upanishadic ways or the Sages, when they used to pass on these kind of information, they used the chandas, they used to speak very softly so that everybody can get that, understand that. And that, under that way of explaining what it is all about, they used to say, Na aksharam kevalam shabda, na varna pustake likhita, etad eva jivanam shakshat, yad dehe spandate nityam. Now, this is where they are saying these are not mere letters, these are not just sounds written in the books, they are life itself vibrating continuously within the body. So, here we are not just going to learn something, you are going to recognize something. Because when you recognize, your discipline will stop being appearing heavy. Your courage will be, you won't feel that I should be courageous because I am forced. Karma will no more appear cruel. Patience will stop feeling weak, and your intuitions will stop feeling accidental, because when you know the entire core of it, so everything unfolds in front of you, and in those moments you realize that creation has always trusted you with its deepest laws and has been chanting them through your very existence. Then you will also know that silence follows knowing. Because the moment you know, you absolutely become silence. And when you become silent, in that silence appears Shiva. Because he was the one beyond any vibrations, beyond any meanings, beyond any names, beyond any form. So now we will understand it at our own levels. हम अपने जीवन के स्वरूप में इसको समझने की कोशिश करेंगे, जानेंगे, क्योंकि एक बार जान लिए, then it would be easy to deal with. So the Cha Varga, if you remember, it was all about emotion. Now the Ta Varga is all about the law, and that's why it is called as the pillars of dharma within the field of consciousness. So when you hear the word Ta, it's like, जब आप सुने होंगे, like when the bell rings, एक sound होता है. It would be like the tongue. You might have heard that sound. जब एक घंटी बजती है तो उसमें से यही शब्द निकलता होगा. It is like the drum beat of dharma. This was like the sound, order, rhythm, foundation. So these are all the things. अगर आप देखे होंगे, if you go to a temple and if there is a big bell and if you ring that and you stand there, is the vibration that it creates is rhythmic. It comes from a high sound, slowly it will become, and it does not just ends abruptly until you hold it with your hand, है ना? Up until you hold that, it will constantly flow from a starting point to an end point. The only problem is you were able to hear the sound based on your hearing capabilities. Might be that sound continued for some more time, but because of the decibels, you could not hear that. That means it can also happen that the first bell that rang is still vibrating. The sound is still going on, but we are not able to hear that because of the capacity of our hearing. The second thing is when you ring the bell, have you seen one more thing? Like it continuously flow in a rhythm up until you hold that. उसे अगर रोक नहीं लोगे, because the moment you hold that, the sound stops. Yes or no? It's like an abrupt ending to that. That means, can you see many a times it's a flow of the life that goes on constantly until you hold it. When you say holding this, it can be seen in two ways. दो तरीके से देखा जा सकता है. एक, how the life was unfolding constantly, and now you have chosen the path of the divine and you're holding the divine now, so the rhythm that was going in one way stopped. This will happen when you are doing it consciously. जब आप हेतु के साथ ये करते हो, then you know like you are holding it, and then that is how you can change the flow of your life. जीवन को बदला जा सकता है. That's where it is said, like जो लोग कहते हैं ना कि मंत्र जाप, ये पूजा पाठ क्या करता है, it's the same thing. It's like if the bell was ringing and you are able to now hold it, that rhythm is changing. But at the same time, did you realize one more thing? Who rang the bell? It is the same hand that rang the bell and it is the same hand that can stop it. इसका मतलब the one who started it also has the power to stop it and ring it again. Yes or no? So उसी तरीके से अगर आपका जीवन भी चलते जा रहा है, you also have the power. If you have started your life by choosing it, you also have the power to change it. But all throughout our lives, looking at our situations and circumstances, we always thought it is not possible. Then there is another way of looking at it. If you do it with ignorance, accidentally, कभी देखा है? One person is going, accidentally he hits his head to the bell and the bell rings. So accidentally it started something and it's still going. So there is a way of doing it with consciousness and there is a way of doing it with unconsciously. Both the ways, when you are living your life unconsciously, you don't even know how to stop that, how to control that, or how to change it. But now, as you are learning all these things, slowly and steadily, you will also gain the powers along with it, because that's what it says. Knowledge is not power, knowledge is a potential power. If you know and if you use it, then it becomes power. ज्ञान एक मूर्ख के हाथ में तर्क बन जाता है ना? So now let's slowly move from here and understand how everything in this is actually a order. Because when I say term and I put a bindu to that, it becomes tam, and this word tam is actually the drumbeat of dharma. It means that it creates order, it creates a rhythm, it creates the foundation. It's actually like the heartbeat of the creation itself. Now, the word tam is connected or it is related to a symbolic deity जिसे धर्मदेव कहा जा सकता है. Even the same word is also associated to Nandi, who is the guardian of Shiva's order, right? So the mantra that actually can help you with this, please close your eyes one more time. In order to bring order in your life, if there is chaos, there is no rhythmic flow, मतलब जीवन में कुछ भी करते हो बाधाएं आ रही है, कुछ भी करते हो गलत हो रहा है, कुछ भी करते हो लोग आपका साथ नहीं दे रहे हैं. Whenever you are doing something, it's like orderless. कोई रूल नहीं, कोई रेगुलेशन नहीं, इट जस्ट गोइंग ऑन इन अ रैंडमाइज्ड वे. अगर आपका जीवन में आप ये देख रहे हो, then let me give you a mantra that can help you bring that balance back. And यहाँ पे हम टम बीज मंत्र का इस्तेमाल करते हुए विल बी यूजिंग द टम बीज मंत्र एंड इट वुड बिकम ओम टम धर्माय नमः। इज वेरी सिंपल। लेकिन अगर आप अपने जीवन में अब धर्म को वापस लेके आना चाहते हो, अधर्म से दूर रहना चाहते हो, दिस कुड बी अ ग्रेट मंत्र टू रिसाइट। ओम टम धर्माय नमः। सो दिस इज लाइक द सैल्यूटेशंस टू द प्रिंसिपल ऑफ द ऑर्डर। जो भी ऑर्डर से दुनिया चलती है ना, इट्स लाइक रिमेंबरिंग दैट एंड ब्रिंगिंग दैट फोर्स विद इन योर लाइफ। If you look at it, your breath, there is a steady rhythm in your breath. This is, this term is actually like, if you look at it, it's like the discipline that keeps you truthful when nobody is watching you. The every time you say, I will keep my word, tum vibrates within you. Ta is actually because of which the world is not collapsing into chaos. Now, let me ask a very simple question. There are certain habits that we all follow. Habits kaise? There is a particular time in the day when you feel sleepy. There is a particular time of the day when you feel hungry. There is a particular time of the day when you wake up also. अगर आप कुछ भी नहीं बदलोगे वो एक तरीके से चलता जाएगा. Let's say you don't have the habit of eating breakfast. And if you don't have that habit of having breakfast, you don't feel hungry. But the people, those who always have breakfast, what will they say? कैसे रह रहे हो तुम? खाना नहीं खाते सुबह. You don't have food in the morning. How are you even surviving? You see, like, और कुछ लोग होते हैं सुबह उठते ही खाना चाहिए उनको. But if both of these people take a प्रण लेते हो ना आप, that I want to change that. Is it possible to change that or not? You can try with yourself and you will be amazed, like, okay, if I follow that rule for 5, 7, 10 days, it automatically changes the rhythm of the life itself. अगर मैं सुबह 9 बजे खाता था, if I start eating every day in the morning 7 o'clock, within 5 or 6 days, you will start feeling hungry at that time now. Not at 9, but at 7. And if I was eating at 7, but I am traveling for few days and I don't get the food at that time, आप देखना कुछ दिन के बाद वो आपका हैबिट बन जाएगा. That means there is a rhythm to life that can actually be altered. अगर आप देखोगे, if you woke up every day at 4 o'clock and one fine day you say, अभी 4 को उठने का जरूरत नहीं, let me start waking up at 4:15. Within no time you will see the change happening. जो 4 बजे आपकी आंख खुलती थी अब 4:15 को खुलेगी. If you move that to 6, you will see the same thing happening. So are we really knowing what is happening, or we are just a being of habit? कि कोई एक हैबिट बना लेते हैं और उसी की तरह जीने लगते हैं. And that becomes the reality of life. Okay, you being hungry at 7 o'clock is real compared to when you earlier were hungry at 9. Are these real or not here? आप 9 बजे खाते थे तो आपको 9 बजे भूख लग रहा था. आप 7 बजे खाने लगे तो आपको 7 बजे भूख लग रहा है. आर बोथ ऑफ दीज ट्रू और नॉट? एक्सपीरियंसेस के हिसाब से देखा जाए तो ये सच है. बट विच वन इज ट्रू अमॉन्ग दैट? द प्रैक्टिस दैट यू डिड, है ना? सो वेदर, ओके, सो लेट मी पुट इट इन दिस वे. जैसे एक शरीर एक समय पे उठता है, जैसे आप घर की भी अगर सफाई कर लेते हो, आप टाइम पे स्नान कर लेते हो, आप साफ सफाई रखते हो, दीज आर all being done by none other than this word as the tum. ये मात्रिका इतना सारा चीज आपसे करवा लेती है जो आपको पता भी नहीं है. Everything that you keep in order, it's all वी कैन मात्रिका कहते हैं इट्स ऑल हर डूइंग. और आपको लगता था कि आप उस रिदम को पकड़ के चल रहे हो. So that's why we keep on asking when you look at your own self, are you just that one being? Or there are many beings, those who are taking care of every part of you without your knowledge. And then if you look at the shape of a molecule, it is because of T. If gravity keeps these planets in orbit, it is also because of T. If dharma holds the society upright, it is also T. Every form is like because of that, it continues to be in that state because of T. Without T, nothing would stay. So, tum, if you close your eyes and you start saying that word tum, 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 tum. Now, if you do that, just see where it is hitting. आंख बंद कर लो and just practice that word tum, 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 tum. Where is the maximum vibration felt? You will see like it is actually something from your mouth and goes upwards towards your nose. है ना? ऊपर की दिशा में जाता है. It is not going down, it's a upward movement again. थोड़ा सा वाइब्रेशन नीचे आएगा बट दैट इज वेरी नेग्लिजिबल. बट द मैक्सिमम थिंग दैट यू विल फील इज नियर द nasal, because if you look at that, the nasal way, you might not have noticed the geometry of your face. It's also like an upward triangle, the nose itself. अगर आप इसे ड्रॉ करोगे, it would become an upward triangle. Upward triangle किसका निशानी है? Is the Shiva's way of looking at it. Shakti is downward triangle, upward triangle is Shiva. So now when you are using that word tum, it is hitting, it is going upwards, taking you towards the third eye. Simply, did you realize, जो लोग कहते हैं ना कि you can reach to the Vishuddhi, then it is a long journey towards the third eye. Here, this particular Matrika, this particular Bija mantra actually helps you from here to here. If you keep on practicing, if you want to have develop intuition, if you want to develop sharpness, if you want to bring clear, crystal clear clarity in your thoughts, क्या बीज मंत्र बोलो? Tum. So when a student is struggling with clarity, what they should chant? Because it is very visible where this energy is flowing and where it is hitting. आप बार बार करोगे तो आपको क्लियरली समझ में आ जाएगा. ओके, लेट अलोन किड्स, इफ यू आर स्ट्रगलिंग, इफ यू डोंट हैव ए क्लैरिटी, सिंपल एक काम करना. आई वुड से लाइक एनालाइज द सिचुएशन, बट if there is a space where you have to take a decision and you are not able to, क्या करना है? आंख बंद कर लो एक बार and start chanting this tum tum tum. जैसे मंदिर की घंटी बाहर बजती है ना, वैसे अंदर बजेगी. एंड इफ यू डू इट फॉर सम टाइम, आप अभी भी करके देख सकते हो. कितने भी विचार है ना आपको, लेट्स से यू ब्रिंग ऑल द थॉट्स दैट यू आर स्ट्रगलिंग विथ. कोई एक विचार लो, टेक वन थॉट दैट इज ट्रबलिंग यू एंड नाउ स्टार्ट चैंटिंग द टम वर्ड. Tum 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 tum. ये करने के बाद you do this chanting for some time and then stop and now look at the same thing again. You will find one major thing. The thing that was worrying you will not worry you in that moment, because now you are actually pinpointing the point, this problem, and you are trying to look at it rather than live it. So जब भी decisions लेने हैं, what is the easiest way? Chanting term. Because now you will not look through these eyes, you are moving it to your higher self where you are trying to see the things समभाव से देखने की कर सकते हो. जब भी, इसीलिए कहते हैं ना धवल जी, समभाव से जब आप देखना शुरू करते हो तो संभावनाएं बनती हैं, है ना. समभाव से, इफ यू आर ट्राइंग टू लुक एट द थिंग्स विथ इक्वल आई, देन देर इज ए पॉसिबिलिटी क्रिएटेड, संभावनाएं बनती हैं. संभाव और संभावनाएं. ओके, so now you know how to actually use this, which, अब सोचो, if this one particular vibration is controlling the entire creation to be in rhythm, can it help you? Or it should help you. Just like your heartbeat going on. What are you doing about that? Nothing, it goes on. आप सूरज रोज सुबह देखते हो कि सूरज उगता है, सूरज डूबता है. Who is doing that? It's altar. But we will dive deeper because it is all external that we are still speaking of. Okay. So it's like the damru. Tum 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 tum. So Shiva's damru, if you really hear that, it also sounds dumb and is also sound tum. It's all about the vibrational frequency that you are focusing on in that time. And here, when that tum sound was brought into existence, no, it was the foundation, the rule that makes the existence possible. When your bones took the form and it remained in that form, it is also tum. Even if you sit silently, you will notice that there is actually a structure to silence as well. And that structure is tum, which is there in silence and even in sound. Every breath of yours follows a command. The command of inhalation, exhalation, repetition. And without the Matrika ta, there would be no dharma, no direction, and no destiny at all. Then comes tha, the next word, when the tha shabda comes into play, the tha Matrika comes into play. The moment you say tha, how does that word come? If you try to say that word, you will feel like something is breaking. Try to say that word. Tha. Is it not the sound of something cracking? It is not the sound of something breaking. So that means, can you see, every sound is, जहाँ वहाँ कुछ टूटता है तब भी वो साउंड होता है. एंड इवन इफ आई स्टार्ट प्रैक्टिसिंग दैट ठ शब्द, it's like the thunder of breakthrough. It's like strength, you push beyond your limit. And it is like activation, the impulse within you. बट इसका मीनिंग समझाने की कोशिश करता हूं मैं आपको. Wherever a structure is tested, wherever you push beyond your limits, The moment you realize that something is more than what you thought of yourself, that is the state of tha. And here, the deity which is related to this word is Indra Vajrahasta, means the Vajra that is hold like Indra is holding in his hand. That is the Tha Matrika. Now close your eyes and now you chant this mantra Om Tham Vijayaya Namah. It's like winning over your own self. आपके अंदर का पैटर्न अगर चल रहा है और उस पैटर्न को ब्रेक करना है, there is a habit that you want to get rid of, but you are not able to. What you should do? Bring the thought of that habit, and now you make that sound thum 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 thum. You will realize that that vibration that you are creating is actually throwing itself as a spread of, जैसे आपका वाईफाई का साइन देखते हो ना, the signal it shows from a point it goes up, थम वैसा ही करता है. It will slowly break through. That means अगर कोई पैटर्न ब्रेक करना है आपके लाइफ का, what is the बीज मंत्र? थम. And if you need a mantra for that is Om Tham Vijayaya Nama. Means if you fear, if you are worried to take steps in such cases, if you start doing this mantra, जिसका सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस लो है, उससे अगर ये मंत्र दे दिया जाए, you will see remarkable changes in those beings. इतना ये 3 शब्द ही है. ओम ठम विजयाय नमः. You can call it as 4 if you are adding Om to that. So are these mantras really helpful in our lives? It is, because it will be practically can be done and results can be seen not by anyone else but by you. Does it goes to Sahasrara also? Absolutely, it will break through that. Okay, because that movement, that's what I say, like it's like a icon of Wi-Fi, one dot, a little bit, and it spreads actually when it goes up. So that was the anytime when you want to push beyond your limits, that is where this tha will come into existence. And then even if you fail and then you wake up, even if you failed and you still did not give up, that is where this Matrika tha is working within you. When it's like a situation we all come across where things are absolutely not in our control, our hands are shaking, our thoughts are trembling, and even in that moment you just declare, no, I can do this. That is where the Matrika tha is actually working within you. It means like every act of courage that you do, it's not your doing. It is tha roaring through your nerves. So जो जो चीज़ों को आप सोचते थे कि आप कर रहे हो, all the things that you ever thought that you were doing, can you see? That's why I said you don't take their names, they take your name. आपको लगता था कि आप सारे कर्म करते हो, आपके अंदर करेज है, आपके अंदर हैबिट है, आपके अंदर ये है. Who is exactly doing all these things? Because if you are not the doer, क्या आपको फल मिलेगा? आर यू रियलाइजिंग व्हाई इट इज सेड दैट ज्ञान आपको मुक्त कर देता है? Knowledge makes you free, because now this knowledge will bring clarity that who was the doer in reality. You are not even just the one who is experiencing it, not just even one the who is seeing it, is actually playing the role of that. So always remember one thing, that discipline without courage is becomes a cage or just a rage. सो अगर आपके जीवन में कभी भी भय ज्यादा हो जाता है, यूज दिस वर्ड, यूज दिस अल्फाबेट, यूज दिस मात्रिका, यूज दिस बीज मंत्र. डर लग रहा है, आंख बंद करो, बैठो, स्टार्ट चैंटिंग थम. इफ यू चैंट दैट वर्ड थम राइट नाउ, what would be your experience? Try it now. 1 मिनट के लिए स्ट्रेट बैठो, keep your spine straight, close your eyes and start doing that word. Can you see the body has fallen back into a pattern? And that's why it is slowly going back to the winter morning sleeps. So chant that word thum within you. Do it for some time with open eyes and then again do it with closed eyes. कुछ समय आंख खोल के करो, at least 3 or 4 times with open eyes, then again close your eyes, do the same thing. Now when you are doing this with open eyes versus closed eyes, where do you think you have the maximum impact? आंख खोल के या आंख बंद करके? बंद करके. मंत्र पढ़ने के टाइम पे कैसा करना चाहिए? आंख बंद करके. So that the distraction is not there, your eyes are closed, there is a focus and then you are able to chant that mantra. I know like जब नया मंत्र दिया जाता है मुश्किल होता है ये, that moment you have to see that. बट आपने देखा है कि जब तक वो मंत्र आपके मन में नहीं उतर जाता, कितने बार गलती कर लेते हो, सामने नोटबुक रख के भी गलत पढ़ते हो. बट वंस दैट मंत्र हैज गॉन इनटू यू, विदाउट एफर्ट, विदाउट ट्राइंग, एवरीथिंग इज जस्ट हैपनिंग. अब शायद अगर मैं बोलूँ एक मंत्र बोलो जो आपने प्रैक्टिस किया हुआ है, वो चाहे स्वर्ण का हो मंत्र, तो आप यू विल जस्ट स्पिल इट आउट. बट द फर्स्ट टाइम दैट यू डिड इट, इट इज डिफिकल्ट. सो इसी तरीके से जब भी there is a pattern that you want to break, especially the patterns of not having enough, कि मेरे पास नहीं है. If you want to break that part, use this मात्रिका, use this. या तो लग रहा है कि जीवन मतलब एक ही ढलान की तरफ चला जा रहा है, इट इज ऑलवेज गोइंग फ्रॉम द अपवर्ड डाउन स्लोप, देन ऑल्सो यू यूज दिस वर्ड अल्फाबेट. अब मुझे लगता है कि एक वी शुड क्रिएट, जैसे ए फॉर एप्पल, बी फॉर बॉल, सी फॉर कैट होता है ना, हम अ से क्या है, आ से क्या है, ऐसा अगर एक सीरीज बना के एक चार्ट बना दे, So you know ki what problem of life, what mantra should be done, which matrika should be awakened, or which bija mantra should be chanted. अच्छा, all this third the अभी जो हम कर रहे हैं, it is a very difficult, like you, many of you will not find these words in your names. Have you noticed that? Because these are like slowly entering into another realm altogether. That's why these words will not be very easily found. So ta, tha, now comes da. Da में बिंदु लग गया तो dum. Dum is actually the one which is related to karma, reward, consequences, balance. जैसे ऑफिस में अकाउंटिंग वाले होते हैं ना, ड इज द अकाउंटिंग सिस्टम ऑफ द क्रिएशन. वो बैठ के सारा हिसाब रखता है. इसीलिए कर्म का हिसाब जो है वो इस मात्रिका के पास है. मीनिंग द वाइब्रेशन ऑफ लॉ और द रॉड दैट होल्ड्स अलाइनमेंट इन क्रिएशन, दैट इज ऑल बिकॉज ऑफ दिस मात्रिका. और आप बोलते थे कि मैंने कंट्रोल कर रखा है. आई हैव केप्ट थिंग्स इन रिदम. मैं अपना जीवन को स्थायी रूप से चलाते जा रहा हूं. आर यू रियली डूइंग एनीथिंग इन दिस स्पेस? दिस इज वेयर द टिपिकलिटी अपीयर्स. जब आपको ये सारी चीजें समझ में आने लगती है ना, आप एकदम से मुक्त हो जाते हो कि व्हाट वाज आई एग्जैक्टली डूइंग ऑल दिस टाइम. एंड इफ आई आस्क यू, ये जितने सारे अब तक जितने भी सुने हो फ्रॉम अ वर्ग टू दिस, हाउ मेनी थिंग्स यू डू? तो क्या किए हो जीवन में आज तक? तो फिर फल किसका, कर्म किसका? अगेन गोइंग बैक, although you deny, you still stick to your karma, है ना? Because the seer and the experiencer are only one. तो जिस दिन आपको ये समझ में आ जाएगा कि कर्म करने वाला, कर्म को देखने वाला, कर्म बनाने वाला, कर्म का फल देने वाला, ये सब एक ही है. Many a times, how many? Okay, so let me ask a very practical question. Everybody must have gone through it, I believe. Let's say you were very angry with your kid और उस दिन दो लगा दिया. हाउ डू यू फील? उसे क्या लगा वो नहीं पता, लेकिन आपको क्या लगा? अब सारे चेहरे पे एक हंसी छूट जा रही है. सुनील जी बोले नहीं नहीं, मेरी मम्मी ने कभी मारा नहीं मुझे. बट इफ यू लुक एट दैट, डिड यू रियलाइज दैट समथिंग वाज हैपनिंग, यू टुक ए स्टैंड, यू टेक ए एक्शन. जब मारे हाथ में आपके भी दर्द हुआ, है ना? उसके बाद मन में ज्यादा दर्द हुआ. जब मन में ज्यादा दर्द हुआ, फिर आपने क्या किया? फिर जाके उस बच्चे को पकड़ लिए, उसके लिए कुछ लेके आए, उसको कुछ खिलाए, कुछ पिलाए. फिर बोले ना बेटा बैठ जा बैठ जा, है ना? यही करते हो ना? तो जिसके जीवन में ज्यादा तकलीफ है, क्या होगा नेक्स्ट? लेट्स से you are that kid who is going through that, but you always know like how you feel when you do that. After that very moment, you bring that child close to you and you make them everything, you try your best. उसी तरीके से अगर आपको कभी लगता है ना कि भगवान ने आपके प्रति कुछ किया है, आपके इमोशंस उससे अलग कैसे हो सकते हैं बताओ? जब सारे चीजें उसी से निकली है तो आपके इमोशंस अलग हो सकते हैं क्या? और अगर आपके जीवन में बहुत कुछ चल रहा है तो क्या समझ लेना चाहिए कि भले ही पिटाई चल रही है, उसके बाद मिठाई ही मिलेगी. So that's where all the moment, if you just remember this one thing, you know what these things do? They don't change the things. जैसे आपके पास एक बोट हो ना, नदी को गायब नहीं कर देता है. If you have a boat, does it disappears the river or the ocean? No. The ocean remains, the river remains, but with the boat you can cross over. इसीलिए हम कहते हैं कि जीवन में परिस्थितियां नहीं बदलेंगी, लेकिन आप उसके ऊपर से चले जाओगे. It will not disappear the things, but you will not be affected by it. Make sense? So this is where if we go like हमारे जीवन में जब हम लास्ट वीक वी वर डूइंग द स्वर्णाकर्षण भैरव पूजा जब हम किए, we all know like there are some people those who actually have lost so many things in their lives, especially when it comes to the wealth part, and they are worried also, है ना? हाउ शुड यू ब्रिंग ऑल दोज थिंग्स बैक, उनका एक प्रश्न था कि कैसे ये सारे पूजा पाठ करने से कैसे ये हेल्प होता है. आई से जस्ट सिट विथ मी एंड यू विल फाइंड अ वे आउट. व्हाट इज द वे आउट? यू विल एक्चुअली लूज व्हेन यू सिट विथ मी. बड़ा स्ट्रॉन्ग स्टेटमेंट है. Now the leave button is on your right side, many of you can leave, but मैंने क्या कहा कि if you sit with me you will lose. What will you lose? आपकी चिंताएं. You will lose all that is not yours. You will lose what is keeping you away from your home. What will you gain? जिसके लिए इतना सब कुछ कर रहे हो. To find your peace, to find your home. बाकी प्रपंच है. प्रपंच समझते हो ना, ड्रामा. So all the drama continues. Just as I said, the river will not disappear, but the boat will cross you over. So let the drama of this world continue. Are you ready to cross over the river is the question. संसार को इसीलिए सागर कहा गया है, माया रूपी सागर. आप धर्म के नाव में बैठ गए तो सागर कहीं नहीं जाएगा, लेकिन वो नाव सागर के ऊपर तैर के चला जाएगा. And that's where all these matrikas are actually playing a role here. यहाँ पे जो ड शब्द है, जो डम जो मात्रिकाएं हैं, it is actually related to the यमा. यमराज कहते हो ना, हु इज द धर्मराज कहा जाता है. यमराज को धर्मराज भी कहा जाता है. इफ यू थिंक कि आपके जीवन में अधर्म हुआ है, समथिंग नोइंगली अननोइंगली समथिंग रॉन्ग हैज हैपेंड, in order to correct that, shall I give you the mantra? The close your eyes then. क्यों? जैसे मैंने कहा ना कि आपने खुद देखा, जब मंत्र आंखें खोल के कर रहे हो और आंखें बंद करके कर रहे हो, उसमें से डिफरेंस है ना. सो लिसन टू दिस विथ क्लोज्ड आइज सो दैट इट बिकम्स अ पार्ट ऑफ यू. यहां पे जो बीज मंत्र है वो है डम, और इसका मंत्र जो है ओम डम यमाय नमः. ओम डम यमाय नमः। यहां पे कुछ कोई नहीं है, यहां पे यमराज स्वयं है, जिसको मृत्यु से भय लगता है। क्यों भय लगता है? वाई आर यू फियरफुल ऑफ डेथ? बिकॉज यू थिंक यू माइट हैव डन समथिंग रॉन्ग जिसका फल मिलेगा। अब कढ़ाई में तले जाओगे, कांटे पे चले जाओगे, तलवार से काटे जाओगे। यू रिमेंबर द गरुड़ पुराण? इफ ऑल these things are happening, then only you are fearful, बिकॉज यू थिंक कुछ ना कुछ जाने अनजाने में अधर्म हो गया होगा। अच्छा, उससे बचने का क्या मंत्र है? इफ यू वांट टू क्लेंस दैट, दिस इज द मंत्र दैट यू कैन डू। अविचार हो गया। देखो, घर में कभी कभी देखा होगा आपने कि अशुचि हो जाती है, कभी सूतक लगता है, कभी पातक लग जाता है। ठीक है, ये सूतक पातक जब लगते हैं, वहां आप गंगा जल छिड़कते हो ऑन स्पेसिफिक डेज। कोई 11 दिन में होता है, कोई 13 दिन में होता है ना? ये सूतक पातक के साथ, अगर इफ यू रियली वांट टू कंप्लीटली टेक अवे if anything wrong has been done while doing those processes, गलत हो गया है कुछ, क्योंकि हम प्रोसेसेस सही से नहीं कर पाते, कहीं ना कुछ गलती हो जाती है, और हमको लगता है कि हमारे हाथ से अधर्म हो गया, वी हैव डन समथिंग नॉन राइट। यस, कौन सा मंत्र बचा सकता है आपको? दिस बीज मंत्र। सो यू कैन यूज इट इफ नीडेड। लेकिन हमें लगता है कि हाँ, सब धार्मिक है ना उषा जी? सब धर्म से बंधे हुए हैं, और कोई अधर्म है ही नहीं, तो इसीलिए मंत्र काम नहीं करेगा आपके लिए। काम उसके लिए करेगा जिसने कोई अधर्म किया है। बाकी आप देख लेना, लाइक वेदर इट इज नीडेड और नॉट, इट्स अप टू योर चॉइस। देन कम्स ट ठ ड ढ। नाउ ढ, इट्स लाइक दस। कैसे बताया जा सकता है ढ के बारे में? लेट मी फाइंड आउट। इट्स लाइक परसिवरेंस। Despite things not happening, you are still sticking to that, you are still holding on, you are not leaving the things easily। कि आज मैं पूजा नहीं कर पाया, आई वॉज नॉट एबल टू डू इट इन ए फिजिकल फॉर्म, लेकिन आप मानसिक रूप से कर लेते हो। वाई? यू डोंट वॉन्ट टू लीव दैट, दैट परसिवरेंस दैट मेक्स यू वॉक ऑन दिस पाथ, दैट इज द वर्क ऑफ ढ, दैट इज द देवी। ढ अक्षर आता है उसमें। इट्स लाइक when you don't give up things easily. It can be a courage on which you are walking right now. Because I strongly believe the most courageous act that you can ever do in your life is to walk on path of spirituality, because you don't have proofs, you don't have any vision, you don't have any clarity, but you still keep on walking on that. इसलिए जीवन में सबसे बड़ा, अगर कहीं पे भी परसिवरेंस का टेस्ट होता है, तो स्पिरिचुअलिटी में होता है। उसके पीछे जा रहे हो जिसको देखा नहीं, उस घर को ढूंढते हो जिसको जानते नहीं, वो मार्ग पे चले हो जिसके बारे में कुछ पता नहीं। हैव यू एवर टेकन एनी जर्नी इन योर लाइफ इन सच ए वे व्हेन देयर इज एवरीथिंग इज अनसर्टन, लेकिन दृढ़ता के साथ, विथ स्ट्रॉन्ग डिटर्मिनेशन, विथ कंटिन्यूअस एफर्ट, you are moving on to that path constantly? Have you ever seen that perseverance in any other aspect of your life? And that is why it is not your doing, it is again the doing of the Matrika there. And now, यहां पे जो देवी इसके साथ जुड़ी हुई है ना, यह है धृति, द गॉडेस who can actually hold everything steadfast, and under her grace you can undergo any pressure. आपके जीवन में जब बहुत प्रेशर हो जाता है, राइट, इट फील्स लाइक यू आर सिटिंग इन ए प्रेशर कुकर एंड सम पीपल फील लाइक ओके एवरी टाइम, एवरी मोमेंट प्रेशर कुकर तो भी कम से कम वो सीटी बजा के थोड़ा प्रेशर रिलीज कर देता है, लाइक एट टाइम्स द प्रेशर कुकर रिलीजेस, राइट, दैट्स व्हाई दैट व्हिसल ब्लोज, राइट, कि कम से कम at times that pressure cooker has that mechanism, it whistle blows and it controls the pressure within that. I don't have that whistle also. So where to go, whom to say, what to do, that pressure keeps on building within you, right? If a pressure is getting built within you, it can be related to your kids, it can be related to your life, it can be related to your business, it can be related to your studies, it can every aspect of your life. When you feel there is a lot of pressure that is being built, उसको दूर करने का भी मंत्र है. अब पता चला लोग क्या करेंगे सुनील जी, अ से लेके क्ष तक जितने मंत्र है ना, रोज बैठ के वही मंत्र करेंगे. बोले no, I don't want you to do all the mantras. What I am trying to do is I am giving you one particular mantra, because in what aspect of your life, what is needed. अब मेडिसिन के दुकान पे जाओ, बहुत सारे मेडिसिन है, देर आर सो मेनी मेडिसिन अवेलेबल इन अ मेडिसिन स्टोर. हेडेक के लिए है, मोशंस के लिए है, नींद के लिए है, पेन के लिए है, बुखार. विल यू गो एंड ईट एवरीथिंग वन डे? यू गो टू द मेडिसिन शॉप, टेक दैट मेडिसिन वेन एवर इट इज नीडेड. उसी तरीके से मैं जितने भी ये मंत्र अभी आपको बता रहा हूं, क्या लिख के रख लो कहीं पे, और इफ पॉसिबल आई विल ओनली डू दैट, ब्रिंग इट एज ए चार्ट एंड इट्स लाइक ए रेफरेंस पॉइंट. बोला इसके बाद और किसी की हमें जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी, इनकी भी जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी. एक काम करना, बोर्ड पे लिख के रख देना. यू जस्ट ड्रॉ ए बोर्ड ऑन विच, ओके, ये प्रॉब्लम का ये मंत्र है, ये बीज मंत्र है, ये प्रॉब्लम का ये मंत्र है, ये बीज मंत्र है. And you will see, when every aspect of your life is built on all these matrikas, what aspect of your life will be left out? Nothing actually. So close your eyes again, another mantra coming your way. अब सुनील जी बोल रहे कि इतने मंत्र दे रहे हो, मेरे को याद ही नहीं इससे पहले वाला मंत्र क्या था. So he's writing it down everything. So यहां पे जो शब्द है ढ, सो यहां पे आएगा ओम ढम धृत्याय नमः. ओम ढम धृत्याय नमः. ओम ढम धृत्याय नमः. Now it's like salutation to the sustaining power that never collapses. आपके अंदर अगर दृढ़ता चाहिए, आपके अंदर अगर सब कुछ टूट रहा है, उस समय भी ये मंत्र को किया जा सकता है. इट्स नॉट ओनली फॉर एक्सटर्नल थिंग्स, इट इज ऑल्सो फॉर द इंटरनल एस्पेक्ट विच नीड्स स्ट्रेंथ. कभी कभी होता है ना कि आत्मबल टूट जाता है, लाइक विद इन योर ओन सेल्फ यू फील लाइक योर सेल्फ कॉन्फिडेंस इज गोइंग लो. दिस मंत्र वर्क्स. And then ta, tha, da, da, then the last in this would be na, na, and it is like nam. ये जो ना जो शब्द है, ये जो मात्रिका है, इनका काम क्या है जानते हो? इट इज लाइक ए एंशियंट कोड रनिंग इनसाइड यू. आपका जो इतिहास है, आपका जो लीनियज है, वॉट एवर फ्रॉम वेयर एवर यू आर कमिंग फ्रॉम, द लीनियज दैट यू आर फॉलोइंग, that code is running inside you because of this matrika hnam. Because hnam is memory across lifetime. Hnam is the memory you never learnt but always knew. Just like when you go to some places, you feel familiar to that. Why you look at some people and you fall in love with instantly, you like those people instantly. And why there are some paths, some names, and there would be a place that always calls you. The classic example would be Kedarnath. Some people listen to that name and say, oh my god, it's a calling for me. Why all these things is happening is because of this anam. And it is like जब भी आप इस सारे चीज़ों के साथ जुड़ते हो ना, when you have that pull to go towards that, then you should realize that this is actually not just coming as a random thought, but it's like an ancestral guidance inside you that is actually making you realize that you are able to hear that echo because it knows what is best for you. That pull is there. वो आपका काम नहीं है, वो भी उनका काम है. Because this, when you sit and do the nam chanting, it is the voice of all your past lives, the wisdom that you have carried in your DNA. This is the compass of your destiny. Now, if it is the compass of my destiny, if it has been something that is being carried in my DNA, and if it's the echo or the voice of my past, it has accumulated all along everything with it. If I want to self train myself, तो कौन सा मंत्र लगेगा, कौन सा बीज मंत्र चलेगा? आकाशिक रिकॉर्ड्स सुना है आपने? आकाशिक रिकॉर्ड्स ये माना जाता है कि जितनी सारी चीजें हो चुकी है, एवरीथिंग इज रिकॉर्डेड दैट. Okay, so that's what people call as akashic records. If you want to have clarity of your past lives, कौन सा बीज मंत्र है कि मेरे पिछले जन्म में क्या था, क्या हुआ? यू माइट हैव सीन मेनी पीपल विदाउट इवन नोइंग दे आर फियरफुल ऑफ स्नेक्स. उनको कभी सांप ने काटा नहीं है, सांप को कभी उन्होंने देखा भी नहीं होगा, लेकिन फिर भी डर रहता है. Some people are worried about fire, some are about water, some people are fearful of heights, acrophobia. Then some people are, they cannot go in a closed spaces. है ना? So they have that fear of even going into that small space. ये सब कहाँ से आ रहा है? Where is it coming from? These are the imprints from their past life that they have experienced in the past life. That's why it is carrying through them, and that's why they are not able to come out of those fears. Then what can relieve them from that fear? क्या मंत्र उनको ये सारे चीजों से बचा सकता है? Is there a mantra altogether there? Yes, there is. If they just simply chant the Bija mantra. So, as Deepika ji says, like almost every of these fear that we are speaking of, it can be height, it can be fire, it can be snakes. You have all these fears means it's only one thing. Any one of you else who is going through that? Okay, so water is there, claustrophobia is there, then snake, fear of the snake is there. Now, any of you has that kind of fear, means not just one fear, but many fears. Almost all of us, right? Now, let me free you from that thought. Why you have that fear? कि मुझे ये सारे चीज़ें क्यों डर लगती है? When I go, I see on a video where a small little kid is bringing a frog, keeping it there, catching an alligator, putting it there, catching hold of a snake, letting it down on the floor, and they are all lying like that as if he has done some hypnosis on them. But why? I have grown up, but I still have all these fears. And why so many coming together? इतने सारे एक ही साथ क्यों? Answer is very simple. This should make you happy. When you are seeing all these fears, That means it is time to ripen. It's harvest season. You know what is harvest season? When the fruits are plucked, the grains are cut, है ना? जब आपका जीवन का जो रैली ऑफ लाइफ दैट यू हैव लिव्ड, जब उसका अंत होने का समय आता है, मीन्स you are reaching towards a space where life will no more be there. Not, I'm not saying the life that you are living right now. इसके बाद अगर आपका जीवन ना हो तो ये सारे चीजें आएंगे. Just like many of you might have been so worried by watching the photo of Rajanji that was posted yesterday. But Kumkumji has been in contact with me from the day one itself. Like the moment he had that, she called up. So we are aware of that and things. And that photo looks quite. उसको देख के कोई ना कोई अब लोग ये क्या हो गया, है ना? But that's not that bad. So don't worry about the picture. Okay, हो जाएगा. So towards the end of this, we will also chant a little bit for him. शायद अलीवा जी, what was your suggestion? Like Mrityunjay mantra you want to sing? Chant. Okay, the Mahamrityunjay mantra, we can chant that for some time on his name. So we'll all do that. So rather Kumkumji has a something better to tell. She says he wants to speak more now, but the doctor says don't. So he's angry. So that's the situation, but things are stable, things are moving, but we will do our part. Okay. So अब ये मंत्र आपको चाहिए नहीं चाहिए, अब देखना है. सुनील जी इज रेडी विथ अ पेन एंड पेपर ऑल्सो. लाइक so when you want to actually connect to the ancient code that you have been following, this is where this mantra will come. And this na, you know which deity is it related to? It would be your favorite one. It is not related to a particular deity. This word, this na, Matrika, is related to Guru and Guru Tattva and the Rishi Tattva as well. The principle that has found a way in your hearts. And that mantra is, close your eyes. Om Nam Risibhyo Nama. Om Nam Risibhyo Nama. It's like you saluting, you हाथ जोड़ के प्रार्थना कर रहे हो टू द सीयर्स, द वंस दोज हु कैन सी, हु रिमेंबर द पाथ, जिनको मार्ग पता है, आप उनके शरणागति होके यू आर फोल्डिंग योर हैंड्स एंड यू आर looking towards them. In that case means pure guidance. If you don't have a guru, if you don't have a guiding force with you, if you want to connect with the Guru Tattva itself, this is a mantra. So you can directly not only have seeing your connectivity of your lineage that you have come from, but also a space where you can connect with the Guru Tattva. This is the Bija mantra of that. Nam 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 nam. All these mantras, all are up, सब ऊपर की तरह जा रहा है. Can you see every varga has a way of moving? So you can use this mantra if you really want to connect back to your life. If you want a clarity that feels older than you. कभी कभी ऐसा लगता है कि I don't know this but I feel this is right. This is where it is coming from. It's not that you have not walked this path earlier, might be you are just remembering that you have walked some time ago. And if you want to know these ta, tha, da, dha, na, where are these sounds inside you now? Then ध्यान से सुनो. Ta formed the bones. Tha created the muscles. Da created the nervous system and consequences. Dha created the heart persistence. Na, it becomes the brain and the genetic memory. Even your body, without you knowing any of this, is chanting. And whom is it chanting? It's chanting the same matrikas. And they, even if you didn't knew those earlier, they have been chanting it through. And these sounds are not asking for worship. They are just asking for realization. Speak truth. जब भी आप सच्चाई की बात करते हो, you chant tum. When you still stand tall despite all losses in life, that is thum. When you accept the consequence and you honor them, that is dumb. When you endure with grace, you breathe, that is dumb. And when you remember who you are, you become numb. And all these 5 matrikas come together to carve like a spine for your destiny. And what I'm going to say would be pretty typical, because this is the law that even the gods obey. उनको भी मानना पड़ता है. And that's why it says you think destiny is outside you, but destiny is a vibration inside you. If you master only these 5, the ta, tha, da, da, na, and you master and you chant only these 5 bija mantras, you will master the script of your entire existence. आपका अस्तित्व का जो है उसके ऊपर आपका कंट्रोल आ सकता है. Is it difficult? Difficult to choose now कि कौन सा करूं कौन सा ना करूं. So that's why what we will do is we will bring all these 5 elements together, all these 5 matrikas together, and do the meditation. And you know what is happening to the meditations now. Once the meditation is done, that is taken and posted in Anand. Once it is posted in Anand, you can go and listen to it anytime. Okay. So do one thing, just take a break from your place where you are sitting. जहां बैठे वहां से हट जाओ थोड़ी देर के लिए. If possible, drink a little water. Come back. वो स्कूल के बच्चे की तरह नहीं जो उधर गए और उधर ही गए. Okay, so everyone is back. Okay, so everyone is here, I believe. Like, you can dim your lights. Now I will take over again. If you are ready, just show a thumb or a digital thumb at least, so that I know like you are ready and we can start. Okay. चलो, सौम्य जी ने हाथ उठा दिया है, ठीक है। आदित्य जी उतना ही लाइट। Okay. So if you can dim the light, it's okay. If not, we can manage that, no problem. Thank you, Dhaval ji, Suma ji. Okay, शुरू करते हैं. We are going to do the another chakra meditation of Tam Tham Dum Dum Nam. So this is actually like walking the path of your destiny. ऐसा नाम दे सकते हैं इसको. So please sit straight. बैठ जाएं अपनी जगह पे. And I will begin with the title again so that it is easy for all of us. It's all about like walking the path of destiny. Close your eyes. Take a slow, deep breath in. And then a long, complete breath out. Allow your whole body to soften. हल्का हो जाने दो. Your spine is tall, balanced, and aligned. And now feel the earth holding you. And as you feel the earth holding you, feel your breath supporting you. Feel the existence is now paying attention towards you. And now you are ready. The first step is root of destiny. The root of destiny will be talking about the Muladhara, the base of the spine. Bring your awareness to the base of your spine. Now imagine there is a cube of glowing light, and this light is steady, strong, and unshakable. Slow inhalations, slow exhalations. On your next breath, when you are breathing out, chant Tam. Tam. Again. Tam. Tam. One more time. Tam. Now feel your foundation being firm, your path becoming clear. You are rooted in Dharma. Now we will work on the awakening of the courage. Focus on the Swadhisthana Chakra. Move your attention to two fingers below the navel point. And as you move your attention, two fingers follow in the same as this attention of two fingers which you have kept below your navel point. And now you can see a bright orange spear. And as you focus more, you will experience an orange spear slowly swirling around with electricity. Energy is rising within you. Inhale deeply into the belly. Exhale with power. Now exhale with the power. Thum, thum, thum. Feel the fear that you carry within you is melting away. It's like a warrior rising within you. And now bring your focus and your awareness to the navel center. As you bring the awareness to this navel center, your power, your choices, your direction, a bright yellow sun glows inside you. And as you are focusing on the bright yellow sun, it is not glowing outside, it is glowing within you. Breathe as if you are breathing into the fire. And with every balancing action and consequences, every step with wisdom. Dum. Chant this again. Dum. One more time. Dum. Dum. Feel your decisions. Feel your decisions and align it with integrity. Now we will focus on the Anhat, the heart chakra, and the alphabet is Dham. Now focus and bring your attention to your heart center. As you shift your attention to your heart chakra, you see a green diamond color object which spins gently. As you are able to see this green light, chant Dham. One more time. Dham. Feel a calm strength going within you, which is growing. No storm can remove or move you now. Feel a calm strength growing again within you. And now you are capable to endure anything with grace. And now you bring the focus on the third eye region. The color will be purple in the vision. Now take your awareness again back to and focus it on the third eye. Slowly a violet start and as you keep your awareness in the center of your forehead and third eye, and as the violet star is starting to twinkle, breathe into that inner sky. Nama, Nama, Nama. Breathe. Breathe into your inner sky and chant. Ram, 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 ram. One more time. Ram. You will see visions may come. You will remember your purpose easily. Now, very slowly, chant all five in one rising flow. So now, very, very slowly, you will chant all the five in one rising flow. Tam, tham, dam, dham, nam. Nam, tham, dam, nam. Allow the vibration to travel from the root to the top of your head. Tam tham dam dham nam tam tham nam dham nam tam tham dam dham nam tam tham dam dham nam. So when you are chanting all these five as tam tham dam dham nam, let the vibration travel upwards. Again, smoothly chant tam tham dam dham nam tam tham dam dham nam. Feel, feel the alignment. Feel the purpose. Feel the power. Your whole body, your whole being is saying, I am ready to live my destiny. Now gently open your eyes while covering your face with both your hands. And once you are completely back, open your eyes slowly, very, very slowly. And now, as we are all here, we can do the chanting of the Mahamrityunjay Jap. So, Alivaji, if you would lead this. So, let us do this chanting for some time. Might be 51 is good for all. So, Alivaji, please start. And not only the healing of Rajanji, the healing of all the beautiful souls that we have. It can be Sumaji, it can be Vidyaji. So all the beings or the people, those who are not informed anything also, let that healing reach them. So please unmute.
Pranam Mahadev.
Pranam.
Har Mahadev. Mahadev, if you could just begin with one chanting.
Okay.
And if anyone else, take also.
Okay, so please close your eyes. Om Trayambakam यजामहे सुगंधिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्योर्मोक्षयिष्यमामृताम्
Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhana Mrityurmukshiyamamrita. 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 Om Trayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarukamiva Bandhana मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् 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 मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजाम्यहम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात्। ॐ त्र्यम्बकं यजामहे सुगन्धिं पुष्टिवर्धनम् उर्वारुकमिव बन्धनात् मृत्युर्मुक्षीयमामृतात् 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 हर हर महादेव.
Har Har Mahadev. So thank you everyone for joining in this chanting, and we stop this session here for this day. See you all again on Wednesday in the Q&A session. Hari Bhai, over to you.
Yes, ma'am. That's good.